I'm just a realist here, guys. The winner of that game is going to the Super Bowl.
So back.
All right. Hey everybody, how you doing? We are so back with another week of podcast for you. Exciting football, exciting stuff going on. College football is over for the year. We're obviously heartbroken about it, but it was a good ending and yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. Austin, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, we don't have to watch teams that aren't Georgia play for the national championship anymore, so that's nice. Um, but yeah, it was a good game last night. Good tight game. I think a lot of people expected Indiana to kind of go out and trounce them, but it was a tight game.
Yeah, definitely kept it close, and we can just kind of hop right in and talk about it. I mean, Indiana obviously does their job and does get the W in the national championship. Their first football title. They're the first team, I believe, or one of the first at least that were 16 and 0 since there's now the expanded playoff, which is pretty
True.
cool on their part. Um, First undefeated team since what? I guess was that Michigan that was undefeated?
Uh, I think you know the answer to that, don't you?
I actually didn't. I actually thought it. I actually thought it was Georgia till I said it, and then I was like, actually, I think Michigan did it a year after. But anyways, an undefeated season, really good way to cap it off from Indiana. But yeah, Miami hung in there. Just a detrimental error by Carson Beck at the end of the game that cost them.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like at the end of the day, you chose to have Carson Beck be your quarterback. Sometimes that's what Carson Beck does. He'll win. He'll play well sometimes. He'll win you some games. He'll surprise you every once in a while. But then sometimes he's gonna throw a pick, and it's just that's Carson Beck.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a straight up underthrown pass. That's all there was to it. Didn't have enough air under it, and the route was jumped and it was intercepted. And just like that, Indiana wins the national championship. And what a moment for Indiana. What a moment for Fernando Mendoza, who obviously played a great game. Didn't really light up the scoreboard on either of his stats with rushing or um, passing, passed for under 200 yards. But the rushing touchdown on 4th and 5, calling a quarterback draw in that situation, Kurt Signetti got some nuts on him. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I think that's the situation where Kurt Signetti's going. Fernando Mendoza has been our guy all year. He's been who we can rely on, and he's our Heisman Trophy winner. Give him the ball, score the ball. It's that simple. And it was that simple for Fernando Mendoza. He said he's got that in him where he's just I'm whatever I got to do to get to the end zone. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it was a great play, and it was exactly what Indiana needed that hoisted them just enough to get them the national championship. Like we said, Miami had the opportunity. They got the ball down 6. You know, you go down, score a touchdown, you win the national championship with the extra point. But Carson Beck makes a huge error. Miami's defense played great. I mean, did all they could against this really powerful Indiana offense that in the playoff was just really strong.
Yeah, I mean this game was always going to be about the defenses and the running games. The Miami running game just couldn't get enough going in that first half, and I mean ultimately that's what it was Miami couldn't get it going in the first half, and they dug themselves a deep enough hole that Indiana's just not going to let you come back from that. They're not going to stop playing that grinding, suffocating football that is just like holding onto the football. We're gonna maximize our chances to win, and they don't give up leads like that.
No, and they didn't in that scenario either. This now being the third Big Ten national champion in a row, do we think things are switching? Do we think the Big Ten has now gotten that power shift, that full shift that they've been looking for?
Well, so it's interesting, I think, because it is the past three have been Big Ten champions, but they have also all been different. So I think that yes, it's speaking to yes, the Big Ten is getting better, and maybe starting you could everybody has their pockets of time when they're successful. You could say the Big Ten is more successful in this pocket of time right now. But I will say that I think it speaks more to a parity in all of college football as opposed to just between the two conferences where three different teams won the Big Ten title, but they also went on to win the national title. You know what I mean? So it's interesting there, I thought.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it just depends on the time frame of these teams. Like Michigan won the national championship in the only year that they could, because after that they lost everybody, so they can't win that next year. Ohio State could have maybe done it this year, but just weren't really strong enough, as strong as they were last year. And now you have Indiana, whose average age of player is like 25. So is this team going to be as good as they are this year? Like, that's just the question you have to ask yourselves. It's like, are you guys kind of putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing versus actually building the dynasty that some of these SEC schools have seemed to do in the past?
So that yeah, that's another part of it too, where Georgia is like in the top of the country of teams that their players stay for call it 4 years or stay for an extended period of time. I can't remember the exact number. I probably should have known that before I threw out the stat. But um, Georgia is among the top of teams that they're retaining talent. They're recruiting guys out of high school. They're developing talent and they're graduating talent. And I think seeing all these schools go and get almost full team transfers and like they're upgrading in every single position every year in the transfer portal. It's different, and the SEC, I know their time will come where they'll catch up because there's plenty of money down here. So I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before the SEC kind of comes back and wins another one and starts to roll again.
Yeah, if I were a betting man, I would assume there will at least be an SEC team in the national title game next year, if not next year, the year after. These teams, I mean, you can only keep them at bay for so long before they start to get rolling again. What team that'll be, we're not really sure at this point. We don't know who's going to be good next year, but yeah, that's pretty much it for college football, unfortunately. I mean, we can talk about, moving forward with podcasts going forward. We can talk about these players' draft stocks and things like that. But as of now, college football is over. Indiana is currently king of the world.
Yeah, they get for the next 364 days, they get to say we are the national champion. So, good for them. Happy for the school. I'm sure it's very cool to be like an Indiana student right now, winning the first national title in school history, being a part of that. I know it was very, very cool when we won the back-to-back ones, being going to school there. So, very happy for them.
Yeah, it's good for the city. Saw some fans in tears post game, and you deserve it. You deserve to shed a couple tears after a game like that and season like that, really. But we can jump over to the National Football League, which is obviously kind of a little more action packed just because we have more games right now. But last weekend we had, to open the weekend, we had the Bills and Broncos game, and this game ends up being a victory for the Broncos. But there's kind of a catch to it, which is obviously everyone knows this news, and that is that Bo Nix actually fractured his ankle on the third to last play of the game, and he will not be participating in the AFC Championship game. Now, Jared Stidham gets his opportunity to try to lead the Broncos into the Super Bowl and try to get a victory if you can. Broncos played great. I mean, they outplayed Josh Allen and the Bills. They forced him to turn the ball over. That was their path to victory, and they did it successfully. But, at what cost?
Yeah, I would say that this is really the first playoff game in which we've seen the Bills lose and it really kind of be Josh Allen's fault. Um, he didn't have his best day. The Broncos defense is very, very good. And they made him turn the ball over, and it's really as simple as that. Um, but for if you're a Broncos fan, it's you were happy for what, 15 minutes, and then Sean Payton comes out and is like, "Hey, Bo broke his ankle. He's done." So now you have Jared Stidham, and I do have a fun stat about Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham is over the only backup quarterback over the last 2 years to not make a start.
Yeah, which is unfortunately not the best stat for the Broncos moving forward.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I didn't say it was a good stat. I, I said I have a stat.
It is a good stat to have in your back pocket,
But
and it's interesting to know. It also Jared Stidham was also the I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but Jared Stidham's NFL path was that he was on the Patriots and was Bill Belichick's replacement for Tom Brady until he sucked, and then he was no longer the replacement. All signs are
one
not
and three is a start.
pointing. Yeah, all signs are not pointing towards a solid AFC championship game. I'm not giving up on the Broncos necessarily, but Patriots are pretty good. So,
I mean, yeah, that's really what it is. Is like the Broncos can stop the Patriots as much as they want. They're gonna have to shut them out if they want to win this game.
they might have to.
Jared Stidham, Jared Stidham is maybe will score you a touchdown. He might get you a field goal, but I mean, this Patriots defense is bad. I mean, they hit hard, they fly around. I mean, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be not very fun to play in. Um, gonna be probably another really ugly game that the Patriots are involved in this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we can jump over to that game that they just played as well against the Texans. Um, Similar to that of the Bills, CJ Stroud just handed the Patriots the ticket to the Super Bowl. Just handed it to them. I mean, this Texans defense is as good as any defense in the league. If they might be a top two, top one defense, like they could be the best defense in football. But when your quarterback turns the ball over, was it five, six? I think it was five times. When you turn the ball over five
It
times,
goes five, yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? You're on the field all game. I mean, you can't do anything. They did all they could, but the Patriots advanced to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I mean, you can only stop them so many times, right? Like when they're on the field the whole game, like you can only stop them so many times. And if CJ Stroud would have been, I don't know, like maybe just below average, I think the Texans probably win this game. Like that's how ugly it was from both sides. Like Drake May threw three picks, right? Or two,
He threw two, I
three
think, but
fumbles,
yeah,
something like that.
two picks and a fumble, I
There,
believe.
yeah. So it's like nobody was playing well. Nobody. It was tough to hold on to the football. I mean, granted, it was very very cold in New England. It was snowing, and it was kind of that you could tell it was kind of like that wet snow that just like hits and then it turns into water. So it's like cold and wet. It's not great. Um, but yeah, just real football weather, but real ugly football.
Yeah, and I mean, the Texans at this point in time, I mean, they know what they're playing for. The both of these teams know what they're playing for. Jared Stidham has already been announced the starter in the AFC Championship game going into this game. Essentially, in my mind, as bad as this sounds, and as much as it sounds like I'm giving up on the Broncos, I'm just a realist here, guys. The winner of that game is going to the Super Bowl. And now it's going to be the Patriots. The Patriots are going to be playing in the Super Bowl this year. And I would be willing to bet quite a bit of money on that. I just don't think the Broncos will have enough. And yeah, like you say, I mean, the Texans forced turnovers. If CJ Stroud threw three less interceptions, and I mean, that's a lot of picks, but three less. Like you threw five, you could get away with two, but you can't get away with five interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if we would have had to watch CJ Stroud versus Jared Stidham against two of the best defenses in the NFL next week. That would have sucked.
Yeah, it kind of would have. But would it have
It's
been
still not
more
going to be
fun?
great, but
I was gonna say, would it be more fun than watching, Drake May? I guess Drake May's got a little challenge ahead with that solid Broncos D. But I mean,
right, he's still got to show up.
yeah, I mean, and I've heard like there's a chance that I'm blanking on his name right now, but running back for the Broncos who got hurt early in the year might think it might come back.
J.K.
Um,
Dobbins,
Yeah, J.K. I was about to say C.J. Spiller, who was a running back on the Bills like 12 years ago. Yeah. So
C.J. Spiller. That sounds like a fucking Madden creative player. What?
yeah, so J.K.
C.J.
Dobbins,
Spiller.
J.K. Dobbins possibly coming back. You have to recruit for that if you're Mike Vrabel, but yeah, I expect this game to be a roll, and we will see the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I mean, you have any, objection to
But
that?
how do you game plan for a guy that hasn't played in 3 years? There's no tape. You got no tape on him.
It's true, but
What if Stidham is just sick this weekend? How awesome would that be?
I mean, what's kind of funny about it is the line is like a sneaky 5.5. Like the books don't think this is going to be a pummeling.
Well, I think that's on account of the Broncos defense being really good.
Yeah, but man, 5.5. That's assuming I don't know what the over under is on that game. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Because
I
obviously the
mean,
over
it's
under.
probably like 18.
No
It
way
can't
it's
be
that
much.
low. I
It
mean,
can't be much.
let's see. I mean, I know the spread is five. The spread is 4.5, and the over under is 42. That means they're assuming that the Broncos score what? How many points is that? So if they win by 4 points, they win like 24 to 20 ish, something like that.
Yeah.
23 to 19, something like that. I mean that they're
No,
assuming they're
23
going to put up
19.
some
23
points.
19. Sorry. My bad. Lost your sync reference.
But that's what they're thinking that this game's going to be like a 23-19, a 24-20, something like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't see how I mean, with J.K. Dobbins, no. I mean, they just don't like the Patriots defense is not bad. They're a good defense. So like you're not going to be able to just run all over them, I don't think. And you know, if you can't do that, I have no idea how you're going to score any points.
I mean, like you say, the only way that I could see this wrapping around my brain in a way that makes sense would be that Jared Stidham is somehow just really good, and we haven't seen him in 4 years, so we forgot. And he just had a bad 4 games, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So we can move on over to the NFC, which will start with just an absolute beatdown as the Seahawks took the rubber match versus the Niners. I didn't think that game was going to go like that. I thought the Seahawks were going to win, but I thought the Niners were going to hang in there. Ugly game.
Yeah, I think this is more a case of the Niners injuries kind of just caught up to them. It was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back situation where like they just they just didn't have anything left. They put everything that they had into beating the Eagles, and there was nothing left to give the Seahawks.
Yeah. I mean, the Seahawks I don't know if they're beatable. I really don't. They're playing just unbelievable. They've won, I think, I don't know. They haven't lost in like 3 months. So, like, it's pretty
Yeah, I think it's
unbelievable.
11 straight.
Yeah. It's like unreal how well they're playing right now. But I mean, they're on a tear. And yeah, they did everything right in this game. Obviously, Darnold came in with a bit of an oblique injury. Darnold didn't really light up the scoreboard, but Kenneth Walker had 3 touchdowns himself. Charbonnet had a pretty good night himself as well. It wasn't ridiculous, but certainly wasn't pedestrian. So the Seahawks run game took over, and from there, you're up you're up like 3, 4 touchdowns right there. And the 49er defense or the Seahawk defense allows the 49ers to score 6, which just isn't enough.
Right. I mean, you get 2 touchdowns from your running backs. The Seahawks are going to win football games. And Sam Darnold really doesn't need to be a factor. I mean, it's a weird story last week where he just kind of like he just like didn't throw all week, and he kind of wasn't in warmups, and it was a lot of weird stories surrounding Sam Darnold this week. But it ended up not really mattering. They don't need him to do much, which is kind of the beauty of this Seahawks team. Is like if you can just play within yourself, if you can just be good Sam Darnold, we will win football games.
Yeah, and
And he's done it.
like even when you are throwing, it's one of those situations where, this is like an old meme, but it's almost like a, fuck it. JSN's down there somewhere, I'll just throw it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they're just a really solid team, really well rounded. And I don't see them losing. They've been my Super Bowl favorite for about a month now, maybe even 2 months. Beginning of the year, I thought they'd make the playoffs, but I did not think they'd be as good as they are. They are very good. Um, but yeah, I mean, that team is really solid, and they will go into the Rams, who this was probably the best game of the weekend. Bills Broncos was very good. It went into OT, but this Rams Bears game also went into overtime. We had two overtime games in the divisional, which is always very exciting. And yeah, Caleb Williams, I mean, Iceman steps up, makes the throw of his life for the second week in a row, and then goes into overtime and overthrows his receiver, and bam, Matthew Stafford's back in the field. Game's over.
Yeah. I mean, the tough part is you let Matt Stafford have the ball back. Um, you got to at least get if you get three there, you win the game because you got lucky that he didn't drive them down the field the first time, score a touchdown. You don't even touch the ball. Let's go. So, um, you know, if you're a Bears fan, you relied on miracles all year. You got one last one. It wasn't quite enough. You got something to build on. You got the coach. It seems like you got the quarterback. Got to work on the defense a little bit, but I would say you're if you're a Bears fan, you should be very happy with how this all turned out.
This was a super fun year for the Bears. I mean, their comeback games this year were so fun. And I agree. Everyone's gonna maybe throw some blame at Caleb Williams for the interception. And yeah, I mean, it was a bad throw. It was errant and it was a miss, but he's also the only reason they got there. I mean, that throw on 4th and 5 with pressure in his face, just floating it to the end zone. I mean, that's like a ridiculous throw off his back foot.
It was also ungodly cold in Chicago,
Right.
and it was at night. So, hands are cold. It's tough. It's a tough place to play.
Yeah, I think Chicago's found their guy in Caleb Williams for sure. And then obviously Matthew Stafford and the Rams get the win. So now we get Rams Seahawks, which is of the two championship games, the better game. This will be exciting. It'll be fun. I think the Seahawks will win, but the Rams are good, man.
So, you know, I've been thinking of just narratives, and narratives are like fun narratives, right? So at the beginning of the season, Matt Stafford had like it was all time bad vibes around Matt Stafford. Nobody was sure if he was hurt, if he was even gonna play. And then they come out and they're really good. They got Puka Nakua, they got Devontae Adams, and one of them is going to be open. And if they're not open, they got two white tight ends that they're interchangeable. That throw one of them the ball, they're definitely open. So I really, really like this Rams offense. I know the Seahawks defense is very good. I just they've already played them twice, right? Because it's a division opponent. Maybe could be fun.
It's definitely not out of the question for the Rams to win the game. I mean, they're tied 1-1 this year. They both won. They both beaten the other one time. And
In the margin of victory for both of those games, Seahawks won by two. No, sorry, Rams won by two. Seahawks won by one.
right,
So
which that Seahawks Rams game, the one the Seahawks won was ridiculous. I mean, they went for two, got it. It's like ridiculous.
right. So I mean, Matthew Stafford's swan song. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the Rams vibe.
Yeah, I mean, this one will be a fun one. That one is going to be just a really entertaining game, and we will see who the Patriots will be playing in the Super Bowl, most likely, um, which is
Or
kind of
who
a blow.
Jared's did it. Well, okay, did you see I don't know if you saw Nick Foles' tweet. I'll pull it
I
up.
did see that.
I'll pull it up really quick. I had it saved. Um, so we had Nick Foles on Twitter posted for Broncos fans. Note for the Broncos and their fans. I know it has been an emotional 24 hours. I feel for Bo and the team, and I'm sending prayers for a strong recovery. On a positive note, going into a game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against the backup QBs in championship type games. Very funny from Nick Foles. And would be so fun if it was Jared Stidham.
It would be a little bit fun if it was Jared Stidham, and it would be fun if the Broncos could somehow find a way to win the Super Bowl without Bo Nix, because then it's like, is Bo Nix even like that good, or is the Broncos just good in general and they don't even need him?
Right. That yeah, I guess that's the question. Is Sean Payton that good of a coach? Um, but before we move on to the thing we were gonna do, I also have another tweet to bring up, but this one is not as good for my friend Eddie. Uh there's a tweet from Orlando Ledbetter, who is some Twitter journo. Who cares? Falcons seven, Kevin Stefanski had a dumpster fire at quarterback in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson failed, which started a chain reaction to 11 other starters. QB Shadur Sanders closed out the last season with 7 starts. Baker Mayfield quote tweets that and says, "Failed is quite a reach, pal. Still waiting on a text/call from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see you twice a year, coach." Are you worried that Baker Mayfield now has a really big grudge with your head coach?
I wasn't even gonna bring this up because I kind of forgot that we hired Stefanski. Like I didn't forget, but like I forgot to put that in the script here. But I actually think it's a really good hire. I'm gonna be the first to say it. I really like Kevin Stefanski. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a smart, offensive minded coach. And honestly, Baker, man, I mean, bring it on, dude. We have kind of owned you for the
Ooh,
past 2 years.
yeah, but he hasn't had the grudge. He's had no reason to hate the Falcons. Now he does.
I
When
mean,
he is the best at just being like, "I told you so. I'm Baker," you know,
yeah. I
and now he
mean,
gets
we'll
to play
see.
Kevin Stefanski twice a year.
We'll see, man. I mean, who knows? Baker, I've always liked Baker. He's a really fun QB, even though he's on, kind of a partial rival, I guess, to the Falcons. He's a fun QB. He's fun to watch. I have no animosity towards him. I'm sure he has animosity towards our new head coach, but in my mind, Raheem Morris has been 8-9 the last 2 seasons, and I think Stefanski can get us at least to 10-7, which is probably good enough for the playoffs in our division.
100%. I would say it should be. I mean, in every other year it has been. Yeah, I would say if Kevin Stefanski can get to 10, 10, 11 wins, in his first couple of seasons, that would be viewed as success.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll have to see how that goes. But I didn't see that Baker retweeted that, but that's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny tweet there.
I love it when athletes go on Twitter and just be like, "Hey, by the way, you're an idiot."
Yeah, exactly. And I guess, like you say, we're gonna see him twice a year. So we'll see how pissed he really is. We'll have to see how things go there. But we have a new little kind of fun segment here. This all sparked just from an Instagram post that Austin sent me today, which
Don't get
was
me riled up,
essentially
man.
essentially comparing his Premier League team, which he's wearing right now, Tottenham,
Come on, you
to
Spurs, we won today.
he compared them to Notre Dame, which obviously, if you watch the podcast, you know that this fired Austin up because he hates Notre Dame and
I
loves
hate
Tottenham.
Notre Dame.
So in my mind, I thought, wow, that's kind of funny. Let's, do that on the podcast. So we're going to compare the 12 college football playoff teams, including the first two out so that it matches numbers to the 14 NFL teams who made the playoffs. All right. And, we can start on either side. I guess we'll just go down the line college football wise and let's go bottom to top so that I feel like that'll be more interesting. So we'll start with BYU. That's the second team out, the team that was two spots away from being a college football playoff team. Who in the NFL would be BYU?
Okay, so before we start this, I want to warn you. I have 13 kind. I have reasons for 13 teams out of 14. Not all of them are great reasons, but I have reasons. Um,
Hmm.
BYU have as the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I say this because they I like their coach. I think they have a good coach, but they're just not quite there yet.
I don't hate the take on the Jaguars. I was going to say that BYU would probably be the Carolina Panthers, but I could allow Jaguars as well. The reason I say Panthers is just because their defense is pretty good. Their defense has done their job all year, but their offense is just not there yet, and they can't really seem to beat like in the playoffs, they couldn't get it done in the big game. And they played Texas Tech twice, BYU did, and lost both of them and couldn't get it done. So that would be my argument for the Panthers. But I also am okay with Jaguars. So we'll give you that one. We'll give you that
All
one.
right,
We'll go Jaguars on that one. We'll give you Jaguars there.
we don't have to agree. We don't have to agree.
That's true, but I'm gonna get tripped up if we're not agreeing because then well I guess I'll just write it down. Here we go. I'll write it down.
Oh,
All right.
good for the graph.
So yeah.
Notre Dame, my least favorite team. Notre Dame, where did I put them? Okay, I put them as the Green Bay Packers. Good enough
Okay.
for their fans to be annoying, but not good enough to win.
All right. I honestly love the Packers take because it's like a historic team, right? It's like a historic team, and they always somehow are right
Right.
there. So I'm going right down the
Part of it,
same.
obviously, too.
I'm
Yeah.
going right down the same path, but I'm going Steelers. Down the same kind of path. Just a really historic team that always is right there, but they're just not really actually that good. But
I was in that territory there for sure.
So yeah, that's where I'm at there. Now we get into some interesting teams, right? Oh crap. Dude, I forgot that I threw the Panthers down at BYU. I think the Panthers should probably be one of these two teams, but we'll go JMU.
So that was why the Panthers were not BYU for me, was because these two teams, James Madison, I actually have being the Pittsburgh Steelers, but just
Okay.
because that's the one I did first.
Yeah, all
They won
right.
a bad conference. If you don't see where we're going here, it's they won a bad conference.
Right. And that's totally fair. Well, crap. I kind of pinned myself by taking away the Panthers and the oh man. All right. I got to kind of I'll put this
What NFL team are you going to absolutely disrespect?
yeah, I don't really. I'm trying to like look through. So James Madison for me is going to be the LA Chargers because their offense was actually pretty good. Their offense put up, James Madison put up actually a pretty good amount of points on Oregon, even though it didn't matter. They did score a lot of points, but um, their defense is just not very good, and their offensive line allowed their quarterback to get reamed a million times, and I believe that's the same with the Chargers. So yeah, I'm going to put the Chargers as James Madison.
Okay, well, you have another tough decision coming up here. Tulane, I have is the Carolina Panthers. The reason why the Steelers. Yeah, they won a bad conference. Panthers won a bad division.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably where the Panthers should be. I'm gonna have to really hurt somebody's feelings here, and I'm going to put Tulane as the man. I'm gonna really probably piss some people off, but I guess I'm gonna put the Tulane. Crap. I guess that's the Jaguars. I guess Tulane's the Jaguars. That's just who they have to be, unfortunately. Guys, I planned this segment and I didn't plan ahead as to where I'd put the teams, and I'm doing it on the fly, and now I've completely screwed over Liam Cohen, and I'm really sorry about it. The only reason that that's the Jaguars is because they had a good head coach who's now the head coach of Florida. He left Tulane pretty much immediately after, and um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And they lost, so that's what we got.
All right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Miami, I have a pretty good one, but you can go first. Still, we've been keeping a good rhythm with that.
I have Miami as the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
They got an older QB playing for the team that he is not best known for.
Okay, I like it. The Miami for me is the Houston Texans, because their QB is prone to interceptions, and also because their defense is actually really good. So that's why I have the Texans there. For Bama, what do you got?
Alabama, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of coaching questions, but still amongst those coaching questions, they're still really good.
Yep, I got the same one. That's our first agreement there. I got the Eagles. Coaching questions. Team should be a lot better than it actually is. Everyone thinks they're going to go on a run going into the playoffs, and then they don't. So I got the Eagles.
Here we go.
That's an agreement. That's our
Big
first
agree.
one there on Bama. We can go Oklahoma here.
Um, I so this is the one that I don't have a reason for, and it's the San Francisco 49ers, and that's just because it's the last team.
Dude, I'm on the same thing, man. I'm on the
Okay, give me a
49ers.
reason. Let's go.
Here's my reason for the 49ers is because honestly, I have like in my head I have all these thoughts, right? And like
Hopefully,
there's like reasons why each team is going to be each team in my head. Like I have it. But the 49ers for some reason just are giving the vibe of Oklahoma. Like they get into the playoff and they're like, they win one playoff game that they really or they I guess they didn't win. They lost to Alabama, but they get into the playoff and it's like, it looks like they're going to make a run because they get up like 21, however, 17, 21 points on Alabama. They lose that game, but I'm comparing that to them beating the Eagles and then just getting curb stomped by the Seahawks. So I'm just comparing that in that sense.
I like the rationale.
This, well, actually, sorry, I gotta change. I gotta change. Um,
Oh,
I,
okay.
I have,
I take your reason.
okay. I'm going Packers because they blew a massive lead in the playoff and end up losing. So
You did you already use the Packers?
I don't think
Or
I
did
did.
I?
Did I? You did. I don't think I did.
Okay, okay. My bad. My bad.
So you
Uh,
got to stick with my terrible reason for the 49ers. I get to bounce off and take the Packers.
that's fine. I'm still killing you in this list.
All right.
We're if you can put together a graphic, we'll put out a poll. I'm killing you in this list.
I'll put up a graphic for this. I'll put it up after. But here we go. We got Texas A&M. Who do you got for that?
Texas A&M. I have Seattle Seahawks, home of the 12th man.
Seahawks. All right. Yeah, I don't mind the reason. But I am not going to be agreeing on the Seahawks. The Texas A&M is going to be the Bears for me. Just kind of chaotic, but have a solid fan base and couldn't get it done when it really mattered, unfortunately. So I'm going to take the Bears there. We can move on now to Ole Miss. What do you got for Ole Miss?
I have the Buffalo Bills. Coach couldn't get it done, had to leave.
All right. Yeah, see, this one was kind of tough because I was between the Bills on two of them. I'm gonna actually agree with you that it's the Bills. I'm going to agree with you that it's the Bills there. Oregon.
The Chargers. Flashy uniforms, solid quarterback. They're both Oregon quarterbacks.
All right. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams here. Solid offense. just not that great of a defense and had a chance at the national title. And I think what happened to Oregon against Indiana, there's a chance that that happens against the Seahawks. And I really do, unfortunately, think so. But yeah, so we can move on to now kind of a Texas Tech type squad. What do you got there?
Houston Texans, both in Texas. That's not the reason though. Uh, Good defense, bad offense.
All right.
I mean, we
Yeah.
saw it with a Texas Tech got shut out in the first round of the playoff, and then Houston has CJ Stroud throw 4 picks, so 5 picks.
Yeah, that's a good one there. I am going to unfortunately probably have to piss some people off, but this is going to be the Denver Broncos. I just think that similarly, their offense isn't really that good, but their defense is really good. So I'm gonna have to take the Broncos there.
For Georgia, I'm kind of disrespecting them. I have the Chicago Bears, but it's because this version of the Chicago Bears has been that second half team that has the opportunity to get exposed, like Georgia has been this year.
Yeah. All right. I don't mind that. Don't mind that pick at all. Georgia Bulldogs for me would be the New England Patriots, just because they have a second year QB, solid defense, pretty solid offense. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of a similar type squad there for me. Ohio State.
For me, that is the New England Patriots. Just kind of the constant in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can understand where you're going with that one for sure. I got the 49ers as Ohio State. Um, because they came into the playoffs with aspirations and they just could not get it done and they kind of got embarrassed on a national level. So that's why the 49ers are Ohio State.
So I think the difficulty with the Niners is no team, no football team in the history of ever has ever been more hurt than the Niners have consistently over the last few years. So it's hard to kind of like attribute them to another team.
Yeah. But actually, if we're kind of just going off vibes, though, I mean, the 49ers and Ohio State are kind of similar. Like, they got like a lot of fans pretty much everywhere. They're kind of annoying as crap, but they're always in the playoffs somehow.
Mm-hmm.
It can kind of check out. I kept them way longer than I wanted to, and I wish I'd used them earlier. But now the 49ers are Ohio State. So here we go. Indiana. What do we got?
I have the Denver Broncos.
Denver
They got a
Broncos.
really good defense, and their quarterback is good.
Yeah. I saved this one for the Seattle Seahawks. Is it a disrespectful thing to Fernando Mendoza? Maybe. But
All
if you
right.
think of it from another sense, this is just the most well-rounded team in football with an amazing coaching staff who's just really controlling football right now. And I think that's why Seattle deserves to be Indiana. I also think that Seattle is going to win the Super Bowl and Indiana just won the national championship. So that's going off kind of a hypothetical, but I think that's going to happen.
All right, go vote. Go vote for your best list. I think we know who won this list. I think I won this list in the first 4 picks, if I'm being real honest about it.
Yeah, guys, I mean, guys, I had to work a damn double today. I didn't have time to look over this. I had to work a damn double. Like, this isn't fair, but, whatever. I mean, it was over when I picked the Panthers as BYU. It was over after the
For
first damn
sure,
pick. I mean,
for sure.
it was over at that point. But all right, we can move on to shid mid legid, and this will be the wrap of our episode. I think this is going to be a little bit of a quicker episode, but there's not really much, not an extreme amount of stuff going on in football right now, so it was kind of a fun little episode for you guys. But for shid mid legid, we're gonna use three teams who just got eliminated from the playoffs. Okay, and we're going to use the 49ers, the Bills, and the Texans.
Okay, so the Texans are shit.
Is that just because of CJ Stroud?
Well, yeah, I think he's so shit that he makes their whole team shit.
Okay. Does it make it a
I
little more
understand.
Does it make it a little more tricky if I say 49ers, Bills, and Texans with Brock Purdy?
Very much so. Yes. Then they might be legit.
It
Like,
changes
because
everything.
it really does. But I would just say the 49ers would be legit if everybody was healthy. But they just can't seem to stay healthy. They're aging. Brock Purdy is still like they have a really, really good coach and he runs a good offense that is gonna win them a lot of football games. It's just kind of not gonna get them above, that threshold, which we've seen. So I therefore I put the Niners at mid and the Bills are legit. I think I mean they weren't, but I mean Josh Allen is legit. He had a bad game. They fired their coach. I think it was time for him to move on. 9 years couldn't win it. You kind of just got to move on at that point. So yeah, Bills legit, Niners mid, Texans super shid, especially CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
Fuck Ohio State.
I have the same list, and it's unfortunately simply because of CJ Stroud. He's just an abysmal QB. And I will say, honestly, when he got drafted, um, and then he had like a great rookie year. Before his rookie year, I said that he was going to be terrible and it was going to be a huge mistake drafting him. And then he has his rookie year, and I think I'm an idiot. And I'm like, wow, I guess I need to go watch more film. And now I finally kind of think that I know what I'm talking about again because, like, he's just not any good. And I was really hoping he wasn't going to be because I just don't think he's very good. And I'm glad it's not the worst take of all time.
Yeah, I mean, seems like a nice guy, but just not a very good quarterback.
I mean, some of those picks in that game were really ugly. But you know, the Texans will have to regroup and try to build back into it next year. But yeah, that's all we got for you guys. Austin, you got anything for him?
Nope. Spurs won their first game in what feels like 2 months today, so that was nice. Uh, so yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
got.
I'm about to just real quick check. Georgia's up 8 on Missouri, so that's cool.
I did see that we had started that game.
So yeah, we beat Arkansas last week. That was a good win, but also lost to Ole Miss. So who knows? But we're looking to make a run. But yeah, that's what we got for you guys. Likely going to be a lot more college basketball, other stuff, kind of talks coming soon with the football season coming to a close. But as always, we appreciate you guys for listening. And yeah, rise up, go dogs. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace.